やばい、ちんたらしすぎて選手入場が始まっちゃってるよやばい。別に案件とかじゃないから好きなように話すんだけど、 ALGS が終わらなくてさマジで終わらなくてさ、多分大会見るの好きな人、つまりこの配信を見に来てる人だったら大体見てたと思うんだけれど、もう終わらねえわ、面白えわ。でも終わらないんだもん。いやマジで最後まで見れてよかった。ウォッカさん最後の 2,3 試合ずっと切れてたやん面白かったけど長すぎたわ。でも面白かったわ。というわけで今から行うのは試合数は過去最大やね。ちなみに過去の記録を1更新じゃなくて多分2更新してないかな。2か3更新してるはず、最長記録を。後半になればなるほどチーム数マッチポイントを点灯してるチームが増えていくから、もちろんもう収束するようにできてんだけど、ある程度そこで2つ更新したのは多分マジで稀有な例だろうね。ムカワキンも惜しかったね。さて試合が始まる前にこの大会何って人のために説明だけしておいた方が優しいと思うので、僕の復習も兼ねて、あと僕が何か喋ったらきっとコメント欄でより良い補足も出てくるかなと思うので話そうと思うんですが、でも APEX の話が冷めやらぬというところでもあります。いやもう情緒が追いつかないよね普通に。12月だから何なのか、みんななんかもうイベントありすぎよ。いやね、CR 買ってくれて嬉しいよね。わかる。言うてみんな CR ファンボじゃん。どうしようこれいつまで APEX の話をしようかなと思うんですけれども、はい。こちらレッドブルホームグラウンド2022はですね、テスタカンドは完全招待制6チーム、トルコと EME、いい意味やだね。EMEA。地域の、オープン予選を勝ち抜いた2チームの、計8チームが出場します。招待が6チームと予選勝ち抜いた2チーム。はい。の計8チームが戦うみたいです。で、今が、12月9、10、11の3日間。今日が最終日なんだけど、初日にグループステージがあって、2日目がクォーターファイナルとセミファイナルの1が終わってて、で、これ今からセミファイナルの2と、これが終わった後にグランドファイナルあるんだけど、本当はグランドファイナル見らしたかったんだけど、グランドファイナルの開始時間が1時半とか2時半なので、しかも BO5 だから終わんの下手すりゃ午前6時とか7時になりそうだなってので、ちょっとじゃあセミファイナルにするかって感じで泣く泣くセミファイナルを選択してますが、カードは激アツ C9 と、来るかな、合ってるよね。合ってるはず。はい。でなんかこの辺はちょっと僕自身もバロの大会そんなに毎度見てるわけじゃないから、ちょっと浅いところもあるかもしれないんだけれど、普段の VCT だとあんまりこういうマッチアップはないらしい。ヨーロッパとアメリカのチーム同士の戦いとかマッチアップって言えばいいのかなとかはあんまりないらしい。あとは まあ見てわかる通りというか、さっきの説明からわかる通り、アジアチームが出ていないんですけれども、日本どころかアジア全体出てないのかな。まあ、そのうちなんかその辺もいいのなんかね、なんか日本チームとか出たら応援しやすいなみたいな話もありますけどレッドブルの時いつも変なタイミングのミラ気になる。なんかねミラになる。そういうことか。気になるわけじゃないのか。でも一応気になってる人もいるかもしれないけど、レッドブルのミラーはなんかこう声かかってやってるんですけど、いつも変なタイミングで本当に変なタイミングの試合しか僕ミラーしてない。すんまへんね。日本チームはいません。いませんね。出てほしいよね。日本チームも次の VCT に向けていろいろ変革入ったと思うけど、ちょうどもうそれの調整も済んできてて、ぼちぼちいろいろ出始める時期だよね、おそらく。まあちょうど年末ライアット1に向けてバロの盛り上がりもあると思うから、ちなみに僕はライアット1とかは出ない、見に行く予定はあるけど、出ない予定というか出ないので、出る予定はないので見る側ではあるんですが、まあ年末に向けてのね盛り上がり楽しみだから。そうか、そもそも日本今あれか、ライアット1やってんのか、そもそもが。さあ、イェイのチェンバーが見れるのか、イェイのチェンバー以外が見れるのか。これはインビテーションイベントだよ。だからそのインビテーション、どういうね基準かは知らないけど、されてないけど、でもね、日本のバロの日本のバロラントの競技シーンって多分もうかなり存在感ね、2、3年前に比べると出てきてるじゃん。だからこういうのにも呼ばれてほしいよねっていう。じゃあロースターとか全然見れてなかったんだが、詳しくないからロースターのところからちゃんと見ておきたかった。今残ってるチームどこなんだろう。Twitter 見たら書いてるかな、あれが。レッドブルのセミファイナルが、ちなみに元々の出場チームが、リキッド、バイタリティ、フォーカスクラン、FUT e スポーツでいいのかな、でクルー e スポーツ 100T、チームヘレティクスって読むのかな、あと C9。 僕がパッと分かるのはリキッド、クルー、100T、C9 かな。これちょっとパッとは分からんな。そうか、あれか。ってか海外もチームのメンツめちゃめちゃ変わったんだっけ。これチェンバー最強パッチのままなの。そうなんだ。詳しい人ありがとう。感謝。ちなみにこのミラー配信、僕のこの素人ミラーもやってますが、ちゃんとしたミラーということで、ちゃんとして、僕もちゃんとしてるけどさ、もっとちゃんとしたミラーということで、ブラックウィズさんとデリエルさんかな、合ってるね。ノーセプのお二方がちゃんとしたミラーもしてるので、その細かい解説とかさ、なんかそういう競技者ならではの目線とか、そういうのが聞きたい方はそちらのミラー配信も見てみるといいのかもしれないですね。僕の気持ちとしては真面目な話、僕見てほしいけどねせっかくね、なんかいろいろやってる人が他にもコンテンツあるなら紹介ぐらいしときたいなという。なんか始まってる？バリ試合中やん。 嘘だよね、来るとしないんだよね。もうめっちゃやってるわ。
Esexetti is trying to make it all around, and Crew takes it, the pistol in favor of Flatam, as it looked like it could have been a ninja defuse working by the book, but it's not the case.
I mean, it was a blink and you miss it. We go in, all of the players are still alive in the post plan. All of the players are still alive in the post plan.
ぬるっと始まったよ。てか今。
One of the things against Liquid that they did so well yesterday is just upping that tempo, being aggressive. For Team Liquid, you've got two stand-ins that communicate.
あ、そう、こっちが居酒屋観戦。
Up to par. But this is the C9 team that we are going to be seeing next year, at least for the most part. Cooper is here as a sixth, but this is the five that really should be in Sao Paulo playing on the stage when we get to it. So this is the team that should really be building that rapport together. And they're going to be ecoing.
イェイチェンバーだ。イェイさんチェンバーです。1ラウンド目はクルーガーが取ったかな。クルーもメンツめっちゃ変わってない？てかアノテーションがあ、これオフにできるのか。あ、ごめん、オフにできたわ。名前が見えねえと思って。これ僕のちなみにいる場所大丈夫？ちょっと邪魔、気持ち邪魔か。まあ、ギリギリ許せるか。まあここは C9 側エコだから削れればぐらいか。 C9 イェイよいしょ。
over here on bind, and you know this has been also a thing in that game
versus
focus, right, where
イェイ派ヤイ派か。マジョリティはヤイか。
Very uncomfortable from like hearing how Focus did. It seemed that they were in like an insane amount of form, and it was the first series, the second map they ever played like as a team in an official. So there's always going to be that teething pain at this point.
みんなイェイ派か。
They've also traveled a fair distance and Focus, you know, playing with nothing to luse at that point.
イェイ派がマジョリティかじゃ。
Gunning for ascension for next year, and if you go up against a team like that, it's no holds barred. As else is going to be trying to fight for showers at this point, and Boombot's going to be cleared instantly.
あ、喋ってるからフェードしてたのか。でも新パッチじゃないならなんかちょっとあれだな。なんか僕新パッチの構成見たかったのはちょっとあったんだよな。でもなんかこういうあれだな、公式大会じゃないのに昔のパッチの試合できるのめちゃめちゃいいな。羨ましい。And as they make the decision to dedicate or not, the teleporter would still be an option open. Gets himself to Spectre and sees most definitely the barrel of Venet. He knows where one of the North American players stands, but calms down for the moment. Still 50 seconds left on the clock. Still 50 seconds to determine where to go. Xant most definitely canned out, and it's a question of time if they'll change the pace. But it is still Xetti who comes close to the side. It's still him who wants to have a duel anytime soon. Gets that one against Venet. Two more stand on the side. No chance at all. And Cloud9 grabbed their first. 3本削られたぞ。ちょっと雲行き怪しくねえか。クルーって結構フィジカルチームだよね、確か。まあなんかいろいろメンツ変わってるからその辺の下馬評とかも変わってるんだろうけれど。ステージの奥のバインドのあれかっこいいな。イェイ全部あれなんだな。腕全部机に乗せてるんだ。あ、チーム変わっての大会はほぼ初なんだ。マジで選手全員のマウスの振り方とか持ち方とかまとめてる動画誰か作ってくれ頼む。ブラフと。B3 か。ちなみにマップ周りは BO3 で、この1試合目がバインド、2試合目ヘイブン。 バインドはクルーのピック。っていうかこの上の UI 公式大会と同じだからもうこれ API として提供されてんのか、大会用の。よいしょよいしょ、オーマイガー。あっちクリアリングしなかった理由あんのかな。
It seems like time was the only enemy really of crew in that particular execute.
Yeah, Klaus was more watching to see if any flanks were going to come in, any aggression from Sand, but it was just held carefully from C9. It was also a really nice play. As the execute from crew was coming in, you saw the Molotov snakebite combo from Vanity and Leaf, and you cannot disrespect that with that element of being vulnerable with a Molotov. It'll burn through you quickly, and hell, we even saw Vanity get a kill just with the help of that vulnerable because the Viper got the assist. Crew just leaving it a bit late, trying to push out everybody from C9 is prepped and easy to stop and execute like that if it's coming out of one extremity and also very easy.
僕側だと変わってるな。なんかバグってるね。
But that's a good start from Cloud9, even though, you know, the first 2 rounds have been lost.
Yeah, great call in by A.
じゃあバグということで。
I mean, the rotation's been spot on, and the stack is in the right spot here too. It's a pretty awkward buy, only one gun save for Davis.
はうまっ。
And it's going to take it right out of his hands.
今の敵から見えてないでしょ、多分。今の相手がしてみたいな、多分見えてねえんだよな。腕の肘が見えたと思ったら人が死んでたはず。ウルトラガンの早くね。
What was the undertone here?
I don't know. I guess it's, if there's a time to try out something to get him to maybe communicate a little bit more, it's a great chance to. You never know going into next year. It's typical NA like to keep it close to their chest. But
チェンバー乗ると何ポイントだ。
Nags, he was so good with this ultimate to get those
今ので死ぬのか。
Then it's down to Cells.
改めて何そのなんで勝ったの今の。オーマイガー。
And he shows what he can do. Only Xan to make a change. Even the flash finds him whilst he waits in the smoke. And 35 seconds is the miracle that he needs. As Nax hugs every corner closed, looks what he can find. Most definitely the toxic in front of him will not make it any easier. From 45 he'll go down to 1. And he's looking every single corner.
わ、なんか見えた。重心かな。
But there he is. A quad from Leaf that brings it home. And Cloud9 with another one secured. It's looking exactly like the defense they've been looking for. Sure, there have been no real weapons for crew, but now it matters to find the right adaptation because when we take a look again at the first buy round, crew
今のえぐいな。
time was an opponent. Maybe that will be a change now.
It felt the same there, even though they're on a bonus.
いや、
They have a plan A and they're not. For bind, it's execute. You've got those teleporters to do something in a whim.
Right.
Mid-round calls just seem to be non-existent for crew. Like, we're gonna go B, we'll wait until we can still go. They're not trying to rotate or bait away. It feels like Cloud9.
こう見るとやっぱセットプレーとかあんまないよね。一見。
That's where the execute's going to be coming out. So I want to see a bit more depth from crew, what they can do on this attack, because they're expecting more rounds like this. So much.
おお、3人で詰めてる。セットプレーあったわ。
And suddenly you break the conditioning. When they thought that they're all going to be so passive, Cloud9 does the total opposite. And the entire left
あんな無理やりワンピック取りに行くことあるんだな。
belongs to C9 already.
It's such a smart thing because crew have been trying to deathball into areas of the map. They're being punished by C9, so they try and default more. And that's the round where C9 try and be a bit aggressive. Nags, because he is defaulting on his own, there's no trade, there's nothing that he can really do. He tries to teleport out and he's unable to. This is also, regardless of how it goes today, the last time I'm going to see Ye play on Old Chamber. I don't know how people feel about that in the audience, if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's a nice little swan song.
You got a point. I'm not a fan of Chamber, but Ye playing Chamber, I think that's my exception.
Cryo as well, he's been informed.
True. How could I forget? Either way, Spike's not going to hit the ground. So ult comes in, teleporter would be an option, but they're not making that switch.
接近の遅延か。
They're still considering how to take all of that site as best as possible. Going for lamps would be an option. Nope. They still dedicate. They have wall.
今の打ち合いに行かないんだな。うわ、バリ遅延してる。人数よりだからもうゆっくりやろうのやつな。おお。カバーのカバーのカバーのカバーが出てきた今。
Work any second soon. It's 10 more seconds to get the spike down. That most definitely will happen. And with the Seekers, they know, really, it's coming down to the wire. Except with one white swing could make a difference. Ain't happening. Is not the case. Cannot punish it in time. And that is that one whiff you didn't want.
Davies has rotated all the way around as well, so there's a bit more support, a bit more of a crossfire. And yeah, he has the operator. It might be still just worth saving considering the credits aren't that great for him either.
Depends if he finds a frag or not. One overstep from Davies, not a problem really.
うわー、これ打っちゃいにいけないんだよな。 おっと、おークルーどうやって今ラウンド取ったよ。無理だろ。取れないはずのラウンド取ったな、これ。すげえな。設置までの入り方マジですごかったな。設置後の少数戦はまあまあまあまあまあって感じだったけど、マジうめえだったけど、少数戦持ち込むまで来るめちゃめちゃうまかった今。いや普通にあっこの流れ見返したかったな。
Once more reminding here, you know, Cloud9 pretty much a
ウ
year
ィ
ago that they
ン
played
ド
online. So
フリーです。
one or two days ago, you could say.
I mean, for Ye, it feels like
Yeah.
every day he was online at that point. So right now it's
取りなかなくてもこんなに警戒するんだな。ベータ入ったらまずいんかな。
Majority of players from C9 over on the A site just keeping an eye, and Vanity actually wanted to be a bit closer to smoke off areas on hookah. There's still that trade map just as you come outside, so maybe there's like a Molotov combination that you could do there with the slow.
B ロンクリアして、B ロンクリアしたけど B なんだよな、本命。そのレレで意味あんの？このさ、箱の際のレレでなんか意味あんの？おお！いや、惜しい。全然今の2、3人持っていけそうな。ファイアインザホール？終われ
does he? That is the question for the moment. As he has been eliminated, the B side is somewhat open, accessible for the side of Crew to get the spike down. That is for certain. And Celsius still has his ult.
うわー、うお。
He has to swap sides, and this could eliminate it. Could pretty much do
え、
the
なん
job.
か
It's actually seconds
避け
there
たのに
coming
死ん
in.
だ。
And it can
もう一個飛んできた。
only be found. Finds
よいしょ。
does not take it
あ、どうなったどうなったどうなっ
The
た。
teleport is not good enough. And so it's the 4 for Cloud9.
僕の飲みそういかなかった。
They're playing it calm, they're playing it collected, hiding in hookah for a moment or two. But the retake worked.
Vanity as well, just playing super aggressive, stood on top of the cans. Maybe Crew expecting they could get a bit more space, but run right in. Klaus has a bit too, so having an ultimate to just
いやこれよく最後頭当てるよな、あんだけスプレーしてて。飛んだ、あ、手前に飛んできて視点が反対側にあったのか今。楽しそう。
But what I've seen so far, Cloud9 looks really comfortable there. Instead of fist bumps, they do index finger pumps. Different kind of thing, but
全力だなシャワー。
become a trend.
すげえ全力だマジで。
Crew, only those pistol at hand.
スキルめちゃめちゃ入ってる。
Nothing really crazy to deliver. It would be a bit of a surprise if they make that one work. But what I like so far, really, Ryan, is the matter of fact that Cloud9 constantly swap up the kind of momentum, the kind of speed they use on their defense, how much room they take initially.
It's a deep playbook. A lot of it is just intuition at this point because this map isn't in the pool for next year. So it is just kind of what you've been able to do on previous squads in the past and how comfortable that's going to be.
あ、これフルエコか、クルー側。
Standard setup from him with this Viper's wallets in, but he's not going to put it up. In fact, he wants to try and take these fights potentially. Looks away and catches both. Crew's buy isn't that great. It does provide an opportunity for the rest of Crew to sneak up shot, but all they do is break the trade back, go back because the spike was left in showers.
For a second, it looked like he was a little too wide. For a second, it looked like he's going to be caught off guard, but Leaf has been feeling it so far, and in this tournament, he has been exceptional as he's seeking to himself. And that's a big advantage as well, Ryan, because this means literally closer to his second ult already.
Viper's Pit is so good on this map in a lot of different areas.
うますぎでしょ。
Kind of what you expected and kind of standard for what C9 we were looking to see from them. Like it was a surprise to see them go down to focus in that first series of this tournament.
いやもうくっそ綺麗。
It's clinical, really. Yesterday we saw a lot of rounds where it was leaning towards either Liquid or Crew, but there was Thrifties and Ecos coming in. Seems that there's not much control, and no doubt this is a timeout from Crew at this point.
そりゃあんだけ全力でシャワーも守りますわ。
Because Cloud9, ever since we got past the pistols and into the full buys, It's been in their control there.
あ、クルータイムアウトだ。
And you know, one thing that stands out a little bit, especially if we take
ピストルラウンド取っての3号だからこれ結構きついだろうな。
obviously the entry capability of Nax, which so far has not been
すげえ角度のしてるな、モニタ
as
ー。
we witnessed against other opponents. And this
モニターに見上げられてるやん。
that is so damn relevant for this team in opening up the rounds and therefore opening up the opportunities to actually take those.
Yeah, and it's just, it felt that when that Tour de Force was online, it was where Nax could be a bit more snowbally. And I mean, the one round that we've seen outside of pistols for Crew to take was Zand getting the 4K. And it's just where it becomes a little bit more loose, less of a macro, where are we going to execute, where are we going to go. But this is Crew's map pick, and it feels a little bit more one-dimensional. They don't have as much room to cause chaos and make stuff happen like they did against Liquid. Feels like Cloud9 are suppressing that a little bit, and it kind of forces Crew to all like fish in a barrel, try and push out of like showers or short together. And C9 are just mowing them down. A full buy here, big ultimates too. Klaus still has that Viper's Pit, and a little bit of damage done to Zelsis that wants to compete against this. There's a snakebite put behind him as well, which makes it very awkward, but he's still standing his ground.
So he either takes a bit of damage moving out, as the snakebite already vanished. Not that relevant overall. I was actually hoping that Crew would maybe take a little bit more aggressive.
There's so much utility used from Crew there, and so little to show for it. At least they're getting another smoke out of Vanity.
ブリームでシャワーキープするの強いよな、やっ
There's
ぱ。
no two in and throw in. There's no pressure.
やられるのマジで嫌なんだよ
Everybody
な。
from the side of Crew is just sat waiting for aggression, and C9 are good to sort of pick their fights. That these are the rounds where they just stack up on the right place and hold their ground instead of go looking.
One snakebite, boombots,
うわ
both flashes, but they're
本当にだね。
rechargeable. It can be a bit of a problem for sure, but now with the second wave, the ult is coming in and the Seekers are leading the way,
返して
trying to shoot which first, as it could be a possibility to at least go closer to land. But Klaus
え、これいけなく
is
ない
trying
か
to see what he can find. The Brimstone smokes at least would allow them to get closer on site, but they still have BAF to clear where two players are
Mori?
awaiting them. It's already Nax's dead as he tried to lurk. Celsius continues to
Ha!
sprint and gets a second as well. The double has been secured, but Davis has a say in this as he gets in and he locks down the site and leaves it to a single race who still stands a chance. Crew is not fully done with that
いいじゃん、
one.
バンダル
Fully
で。
done with that one, but a player peeking from Haven any second
う
soon.
おー、今の打ち合い方うまっ。
It's gonna be
け
his
どカバー切
final
れ。
blow. That's the 6-3. Cloud9.
ファントム、ファントムで全部頭打ってんだけど。
It's just straightforward, just crossfires. I'm gonna
バンダル持とうや。
because they
じ
know
ゃあ
Crew spent so much utility trying to get showers and couldn't get much. Vanity feels comfortable that he's not going to get
エイム
pushed
綺麗すぎだろ、マジで。
showers, that it's just going to be this kind of spot they can play a little bit wider, and he only sort of peeks out a bit more once Leaf is there from heaven to try and trade. It's just good fundamentals. Like this kind of, again, feels that you'd want to see. It's not super flashy, but when you're putting together a squad like this, just start with the basics.
This is a funny thing. When I talked to MCE a while ago, he said we are still working on fundamentals. Even though those are world-class players, I would say, Ryan, it is very important to still work with those fundamentals. And
VCT ってそれこそいつから
fundamentally speaking, not looking
い
too
つ
good.
からその各チームのお披露目は始まるの
That space, that gap.
おー
Now they do.
That's
One of the
nasty.
rounds. This is where Crew can springboard a little bit. I mean, how many times did Nags get a kill just playing out of showers and somebody pushing him?
うわー、ノーペめっちゃ欲しい。
Pistol.
Oh, yay. With the unnerfed Tour de Force. But it was literally the only time I've seen C9 do that. But now, Crew, what are you going to be able to do? There's going to be a trailblazer used on the defense to get a lot of information, and it doesn't spot anybody on sand.
さすがにリスク高すぎて拾いに行かないんだな。
The A side is reinforced, not B.
Nags moving across. Not able to actually
ウィ
pick
ン
up
ドウ
the
クリア入
operator.
っ
Just
て、
still on that headhunter. He's going to be the one pushing
まあ
down
もう
B
一気に入るしかないよね。これ噛
This
み合っ
spot
てんの
needed to be cleared, and that's a great orbital strike.
Oh, but he's getting out. Does he even find the kill? Nax actually is not finding anything, and it could be Xepa with low HP, still seeking something, but no chance. As from left and right, the players come. It could be the fourth for Crew, as they also put that ult in. Davies finds Leaf, and this leans only two more from Cloud9 stand. It should be near impossible, and would be excellent for them.
It's chaotic now.
あああ
Fight's
ああ
coming in close. It's just going to be Vanity left alive.
He doesn't stand a chance at
Whoa!
all. He's at least
Echo
finding
totta.
one, but not much more
350.
happening. Finally, with even the weapons that did were not really going in favor of Crew, they find themselves the fourth. And it started all with an entry on the chamber.
Yeah, just sitting and waiting. And C9 probably not going to do that again, right?
噛み合いまったな、今の結
Certainly,
構
like, the thing that they did so well once they actually pushed down Belong a few rounds ago, like round 3 or round 4, there were 3 players there. Even if one of them went down, there's a trade that can at least come in. Yay, out on his own, gets taken out. Nobody's there to try and support him. No gun was picked up, no upgrade was there. But it's an awkward position to be in. Could still be 6-all at the half, which would be great for Crew going on to their defense. But the buys are still available, and yeah, there's another operator in hand. But the money is pretty awkward on the side of C9. So if they lose here, final round, they won't have much to work with. Round 12.
At the same time, the good thing is that they have two insanely vital ults, right? They have Brimstone ready to help fire on wherever he wants to. Same goes with Leaf.
スパイク拾って
And also for locking down sites. But as we see right now, it's mostly B that right now has been reinforced. There's not
なんか一生噛み合ってないか、攻めと守りの配置。
Now it's gonna come in just because
あ、で
there's
も
been so little noise from the side of Crew.
今ちょうどやってる。
Seems that with the smokes coming in with the trailblaze potentially are just
一人がエリアめっちゃ広げてんだ。
as a giveaway, the showstopper is coming through, but C9 have actually made a lot of distance for themselves. All of these angles being cleared, nobody in lamps for C9 because they expected this ultimate to come through.
Yeah, how far is he gonna go though? Is he gonna find anyone? Ain't
Ah,
the case, and Leaf is going for that beautiful lurk, finds Negs. And Cloud9, they want more of ultimates to use as though that is the perfect
Oh!
timing. Never mind!
はあ
Works brilliantly for Cloud9 as for a second it looked.
何そ
Could
れ
have been the flank of the flank that still gets them back into the game, but ain't the case. Crew, right now, really not sure where to even start with, as this 7-4 is our significantly better defense that we've seen so far in this tournament from Cloud9 on Bind.
Yeah, Leaf getting past the trademark. I don't
ど
know
の
if
打
he
ち合い
smoked
も
it
理
or
解
just
不
went
能
for
すぎるだ
that
ろ
push just as Nags died. But just those kind of moments where it's like, okay, we've not done it at all this half. We've not been aggressive. We're not trying to flank in behind them. Let's go for it now. And it did kind of catch Crew by surprise. They're not really being proactive around the map. They're kind of like, with a minute left on the clock, all in the same spot, ready to execute on the site. Right now, the spread
お互いシャワーが散ってるな
Team Liquid. C9, two hookah players crossfiring to keep control of that. And the showstopper for Zelsis is
出た
one of the big ultimates that Cloud9
ちょこちょこ
have
ピー
available
ク
to them in the last round of this half.
B ロング名物
So Crew, once we're building up in front of the B site, so nobody's flanking, nobody's lurking, nobody's waiting for a late move. They have dedicated themselves pretty much to B at this point in time.
There's a nice little move as well from the Viper and the Brimstone on the defense, using the Viper wall to just peek out, maybe catch a nice little position, but they're still holding in that spot and giving up Garden just a little bit. So B long is where Crew are looking to
ガ
go.
ーデンクリア
And so they're entering. B side is definitely where they're going to attack from. Claus is just waiting for the right timing for the hookah players to make a mistake. As in the meantime,
Oh.
Vanity and Xepa, that's a brick wall. You can't catch through it. And so
なんだなん
a
だなんだなんだ
single ult to make the difference most likely ain't going to happen, except they're all facing way too far. But even with the ult, a clear signal that you're not coming through this.
It spikes in the center of the Viper's pit too.
そんなウルト使うって思ったけどこれラストラウンドか
I would be shocked if Nags can pull this off.
They're taunting.
今のヒットサウンドバレてんのか
Again,
な
just like C9 have a good timing of like when these executes come in, the Viper wall goes up from Leaf pretty much perfectly every time. Snake bites.
なあ
Flawless way to end. 8-4 on the defense for
C9 強くね
Cloud9. Great spot going on to the attacking side. Crew on their map pick have it all to do. But at least they're on the defense. They don't need to try and coordinate themselves. They just need to deal with that oncoming reckoning that is Cloud9 on this attacking side with this squad. You got Leaf on Viper. Leaf is a duelist in his own right, man. Like it's
Incredible.
these guys can click heads when they need to.
You would say, right? You have a Yay on your team, you have a Celsius on your team, right? And who's top fragging? Your Viper player. Not that Leaf is not doing that most of the time,
Oh,
right? This tournament in
交代か
particular, but he's been exceptional.
C9 いい
so
よ
far,
な
support roles he plays.
ユニフォームに BMW って書いてんだぜ
Big thing for Cloud9. Going on to Haven as well. If they take this map, they're going on to somewhere that they've comfortably beaten Crew this tournament already. Be business
あれ
as usual. And also if they do go to the grand
バイパー
finals later
17
today,
キル5ですな
making this semi as swift as possible and
最強コン
straightforward.
トローラ
Having it not drag on because 100 Thieves are, you know, sitting watching this. They're chilling. They did their semi-final yesterday. They're going to be rested and recuperated for the grand final later on today. Cloud9, they want to just get through this quickly, if at all.
And a tiny little changes, for example, the chamber trap that we're seeing right here, right? A little bit different here from the side of Cloud9 to keep it in a different position, but they're focusing on B for the moment. As 4 players of Crew might expect exactly that. So it comes down to clean, accurate shots to clear up what's awaiting them. It could have been
おー B 噛み合ったぞこれ B スタック
For the first, the bot comes out, but Ye starts fragging. Klaus has the answer though. As they come onto the site, he keeps on locking it down.
つえ 倒しても倒してもカバー出てくる。無理やりあれ4人スタックしてたの4人倒したらポイント取れるように来たこれ。パワーすぎない？
It was the player advantage for Crew. Klaus did such a good job with that Vipe wall coming up, the snake bite, making all of those players weak as they push on and made it very easy for Crew to hold on. But Crew took
なんでピストルラウンドで4人スタックしてる方のポイント取れちゃうのこれ。
And Davis as well, just playing in elbow, maybe thinking he was a bit more hidden. Pretty easy kill for C9 once they got in on.
いかんでしょ。勝っちゃいかんでしょそれは。
It feels a bit like Cloud9 is purely in the driver's seat. Crew the back row don't even know what's happening to them.
Well, it's also just for Crew, like they were really good in their pistols yesterday. Maybe it's because Team Liquid weren't great in their pistols overall, but using those rounds to sort of buff yourself up is important.
Yeah.
Crew are only on 4
rounds
winning a pistol in the first half. The rest has been all Cloud9. It has been incredible.
あれはメンタル来るだろうねクルー側。しかも2回連続が噛み合わない。もうシャワーもないし中も見えた。これはもうレッツゴー A やね。こうなると。
Mostly for that side of B, nothing is going to happen over there. Cloud9 realized that is free real estate. Thank you very much. We're going to take that spike is hitting the ground.
これはイージーラウンドになっちゃうかなどうしても。でもフルエコはもう仕方ないもんな。変なことするしかないもんな。一本でも削れたら嬉しいけど。うわーなんもできねえこれ。すごいとこまで行くな。
Oh, he actually swapped it away because he wants to be a bit more aggressive.
Very dangerous, but at least finds one. Backs off in time as he's down to 21 HP. The spike is ticking way too fast, and as the rhythm gets faster, you better leave the site. They keep the two Vandals, they keep one Spectre.
口はぐきではあったのではないか。
For the side of Cloud9. As they keep what's needed, and then it's double digits.
言うて2削り悪くないか。
This could be a bit of a speed run, and I think that's what Cloud9 are going to be expected because they played the groups already, and it was a swift 2-0 for them. It was the same maps in a different order. This is the one map that we didn't see because it was the decider. And considering how Crew looked yesterday, there was a sliver of hope really, but it's been pretty much shut down from Cloud9. It's also just like the communication there. At the start of that round, they had two Vandals. One was in Ye's hands, one was in Vanity's. He went to Zephyr, like, here's the Vandal, give me the Spectre, I'm going to go push and get a bit more.
Very reasonable indeed.
They've actually upgraded a couple more times as well. 3 rifles now for Leaf.
武器負けてるからラッシュと思ったけどなんかC9 めっちゃ武器強くない？ダル3本とファン普通にダルとファントム4本あるんだけどあれなんでだ？あれも買ってる
？Off the sand positions, but they might just make it work. They very much do. It's only Vance. He never mind. 10 HP and a Spectre left. As he's upgrading,
he's going for the TP.
He's gonna run.
Only one smoke left and 10 HP. Going over towards that side. The Chamber's still alive. There's a trademark right there on this entrance to showers. And he's in his smoke, so he might not even clear it.
いやこれセカンドで買っただけじゃなくね。だってなんかやけに金ない選手いるぞ。多すぎないシンプルに。2本落としたから3人でしょ。普通に倍してね。足りんのかな。いやそうだよね。なんか明らかに足りてないような。そうなるよな。だから普通に買ってるこれ。だから C9 倍してる。スペクターあんのに倍してる。あ、でもスペクターなかったのか。そうか、2人死んだから。2人死んだのにエコせずに倍したんだ。あのさい あんまり武器関係ないかもです。スペクターをもとにバンダルを召喚、バンダルで敵のバンダルを破壊、さらにバンダルで敵のバンダルを破壊。インチキすぎんよ。
I've never had that much fun playing Viper on this map.
Did you ever have that much fun playing Valorant?
ランボーみたいになった今。
When I'm not playing Viper on this map, or Breeze.
持ってる武器で敵倒して敵の武器奪ってその武器で敵倒しまくってる。
Nothing's happening, guys. I'm over here on B on my own.
これリーフっていう選手強すぎない？
Yeah, while you're waiting, you can surely do your
僕の知ってるリーフくんじゃないんだけど。
Either way, 11 to 5.
もともとどこのチームにいた選手？
From Cloud9, 2 rounds away. And it's
もともと C9 とか？
economically as well for the crew side of things, right? Sure, 2 players are going to have somewhat of an economic buffer. There's 1 rifle broads into the next round, but still, it's not going to be an ideal situation to hold up Cloud9.
もともと C9 だ。C9 なんだ。
11-5. Kind of the semi-final that you want. I do feel sad, I guess, to an extent that, you know, we're here in Europe for home ground and we've got
ここマジインチキだろ。武器拾ったと思ったらそのままスーって言って2人ダーンダーンとか言って。
Yeah, we can take credit for them if we want.
Sure, fake. If that feels like it.
え
Probably one of the later stages, but still mandatory to use that at the point in time. Crew is not finding any answers. And you know, there's not this big.
クルー2度目のタイムアウト。
You know what? They could have done this and that. There was not too many Byrons we could have even discussed.
Exactly, yeah. It's just
いやーこれピストル取れてたらでかかったけどなクルー。したらまあ7級まで見えてたか。それでもきついな。
On the defense, it's a little bit harder to do. Like if you get that first kill on defense, it's great so long as there's no trade from the attackers. If you put yourself in a position where you can get a kill aggressively on the defense, but you get traded, that's more benefiting to the enemy team than it is for you, right? Like defenders need to fill so much more ground, get information. If you die in those cases, the attackers go, let's go to the other side because they think that we're going to be hitting B. That's where we got a kill. We can go A.
And at the same time, it's a kind of composition where you need to do that to a certain extent because you don't have any utility that precisely tells you where opponents are, right?
Yeah.
So doing that move of a chamber makes sense. It's not like that, but at the same time, insanely risky. So they take a different route.
いやー歯食いしばってエコしてんなクルー。
He has no TP.
ひー
It's good amount of information.
ここ持っていけないと辛いぞー。
And that means that the rest of Cloud9 are going to go in. That's pretty much what Optic used to do a lot. Canary in the coal mine was Ye just sort of holding in areas, and as soon as he got wind that something was going on, like a typical sentinel,
うわー
the rest of the team go to the other side with a Viper's Pit. I mean, with the low buy, with the Viper's Pit dedicated, this is looking likely for Cloud9 to
相手にワンチャン与えないねこれは。
still alive on the side of Crew, and they do have a Seekers.
They also have the rifle, 1 rifle on Xand. That could just make the difference. Celsius holds a bit of lambs, except knows that he got to really extend in that ult as much as possible as they're coming in. Finds 2, actually 1.
あいやーこの人もめちゃめちゃ強いなスカイの人。ゼッパみたいな人。そうめえ。
It is number 12, and once more to highlight one thing, Ryan. This is the map pick of Crew.
Yeah. This is their best chance, really. The other maps in this, they'd already played against Cloud9, and it didn't go well. Especially the next one, Haven, a map that they were picking initially in this tournament, but they lost every single time, so they moved to Bind. Things were looking a little bit better. I mean, the finger fist bumps make a lot of sense when you look at players like Twiston yesterday, who almost broke Bone Cold's wrist with the fist bump.
さあマッチポイント。ただまあクルーもここはフルバイだから。いやーフルバイだけどもまあでも関係ないか。すんげえ動き。オーマイガー。うわーめっちゃ綺麗に受けれたのに。そこでスカイのシーカーに追われるのはもう神様が C9 に勝てって言ってるよこんな。フローレス。
in that semi-final.
Oh my god.
To the grand finals later today, and they want this to be as straightforward as possible. It was not a good start for this team in this tournament, losing to Focus, but ever since they built up their first time on stage, it's like they never left.
No, it pretty much didn't feel like it. You know, some wonky games in the group stage, right? Some seem more scary, some seem more dominant, but that one right here was more than good enough. Bind looked wonderful after the pistol round, and the second also. It looked like it could be a problem, but it wasn't at all.
We've already seen Crew, like in this other winter period, heat things up last year at Champions.
ね、試合めっちゃ早かったね。めっちゃ早くってもオンタイムスタートだったから50分ぐらいやってんのか。あ、いや、試合は始まったから40分ぐらいか。
And that one aspect we talked about that could be a problem for Cloud9 was comfort. But they didn't look uncomfortable at all. It looked like it would be their home ground, most literally.
It's comfortable.
C9 強え。1試合、1ゲーム目だけ見るとストレートかなってなるけど、まあでも案外そうもいかないのがバロでもあるから、まあまあまあまだまだわからんか。あ、そうだ。で、逆のセミファイナル1の方はどこが勝ってるのって話。
Thank you very much, guys. We saw Ye walking off there with MC as they were going off the stage, probably discussing a lot of tactics. What have you guys made of Ye's debut as IGL here on LAN?
Yeah, I think you struggled a little bit. I think it shows, you know, people out there flaming the IGLs for their fragging ability. Put the best player in the world on the roll, and obviously he's not the best player in the world anymore. So I think you need to cut some IGLs some slack out there.
I'm gonna go in and say I didn't see too much change. Obviously, Ye, I felt he was very aggressive in terms of firepower, like not his normal self. But I do think, again, it was whitewashed in terms of the game. Vanity was doing a lot of talking and still filling the role of just like having a judge and just like this. So I don't know. It doesn't look like too much has changed. Very vocal. And I honestly didn't see Ye talk that much.
The thing is that he was smart enough to have his monitor so close up that we could not see if he was speaking at all.
レッドブルの公式、レッドブルホームグラウンドの公式サイトに渋谷ハル公式ミラー配信中って書いてある。嬉しい。イベントの見どころは？なんか今公式サイト見て知ったんだけどさ、ホームグラウンドで対決っていうコンセプトだし、本イベントでは各チーム自分たちが得意とするマップで対戦相手に戦いを挑むことができるというユニークなフォーマットを採用。ヨーロッパ VS 北米。今回は NA チームが初参戦し、イーミアを代表する強豪チームたちと激突する。一見そこまで珍しい組み合わせとは思えない方も多いだろうが、実は NA チームがイーミアチームと相まみえる機会はほぼ皆無。
Just a great event in general. He's the person that has always been on the initiator, hasn't changed the role, and is still fragging very highly. And just the util is just incredible. It's like at the right time, it's sky flashes at the right time, and yes, Zephyr for me has been a bit of a standout in this team.
Yeah, for me it's all about Leaf. I think he's been playing absolutely fantastic this game. But doing what he does best, taking space, taking the aim duels, knowing his timings like that. And when someone like that has like a free role, where Ye, the IGL, now obviously saying Leaf, go do what you want, go walk up here. And you saw it numerous times getting 3Ks, 4Ks, winning his team the round on his own.
Yeah, we got some stats from Leaf as well here, of course. With Zelsis coming in as well, I think a lot of people weren't quite sure how they were going to sort out the roles, what they were going to do. Are you guys happy to see, you know, what Leaf is doing now?
ACS319、KDA 5.7。バグかな？バグかチーターかだろ、こんな。しかもバイパー。なんかもうだってただ打ち合いで破壊してたもんね。なんかスキルの使い方がどうだとかさ、なんだとかじゃなくても見えたら頭打ってた。見えたやつの頭を打ってひたすら破壊してた。いっちゃん強い。
So it's a great asset to have in the team. Something similar to Crew, you know, changing the Rays where you have Zelsis on Rays, Leaf on Rays, where they have Davies on like Duos and Zand on Duos. So kind of some styles in the team, but obviously Cloud9 was on top today.
Maybe he should IGL next, you know?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Just do a liquid.
Yeah.
Everyone has a go.
Yeah.
Brazil is this turn. Yeah, but there's been a lot of fans here who are supporting Cloud9. You guys have been hearing them on stream as well. And Ginny is standing by right now to have a little chat with some of them.
すぐに2試合目は行かないんだね。まあ、ちょっと待ちで終わったからとかもあんのかな。いいな、会場。うわ、楽しそう、なんか。
We're joined by Ali, who's actually also excited to be here, as far as I'm aware. You agreed to do this interview. Sorry for picking on you from the crowd. What's that? Is that your favorite flavor?
Actually, it is, yeah. It's tropical, and that's my favorite flavor. And then coconut. So, for those who want to try,
黄色レッドブル。
go to go.
Okay, we just saw Cloud9 beat Crew on Crew's map pick.
あ、向こう時間何時だろうね。
Are you a C9 fan?
Actually, no, I was supporting crew, so it's.
あ、書いてる。
Yeah. But honestly, I
こ
think Cloud9
っ
is.
ちが今10時半のセミファイナル2でしょ。
Woken up today and had some good breakfast, I feel like.
23時半。
What did you have for breakfast?
ヨーロッパが15時半、イギリスが14時半らしい。これ現地どこだろう？
Okay, for the fans here in the crowd, we heard a little bit of cheers for Crew. Is there anything you want to say to them?
Yeah, I think it's amazing that another region is competing versus 100 Thieves and Cloud9. So hopefully we'll see a lot more crew shouts. Yeah.
He said he wants to see some Crew shouts, not some grandmas. Come on. What was that, guys?
マンチェスタ
Thanks. Thank you. Feel free to take a
マンチェ
seat
スタって
as
どこだ？
we have some other people here. So,
サッカーチームしかわかんねえぞ。
You look very excited to be here yourself.
マン
Yeah, for sure. It's been amazing, like meeting players and getting to
イングラン
spend
ド
time
の
with
都市。
friends. We've got some friends from Durham Uni and Mouse Place to shout out.
イングランドってどこ？ヨーロッパの方。
Yeah.
世界地
What team
地
are you
図わかん
supporting
ねえん
here
だよ
today?
な。実は。
I'm rooting for 100 Thieves. I was hoping for Liquids
イギリス
to do well.
イギリスの南らし
They
い
went。out, so I'm
マンチェスタ
now a big 100 Thieves fan.
Okay, you know, we can support them all, but the fact that there is no Liquid, there's also no other EMEA representation
ロ
here.
ンドン
So the fact that,
よ
you
り
know,
は
we're in
来
the
た。
UK, how does it feel, you know? No home representation.
I mean, it's a bit sad, but at the end of the day,
世界の地理マジで嫌いすぎて。
we get to see live, so I can't really complain. Like, it's awesome
イギ
to
リスだっ
see
て
such
さ、
great Valorant being played. So
現地は。
I'll take it.
We'll take it indeed. We're going to be heading back to the analyst desk. Thank you guys for tuning in.
All right, thank you very much.
選手も一回はけてるか、これ。
Obviously, we saw a Crew fan in there. We want Crew to put on.
わあ、会場いいな、今のなんか全チームのロゴ並んでんの。
Supporting VM for themselves too. But map 2, I think map 1 was the one that you guys said that Crew, they had to come out swinging, they had to win that one. But that didn't really go to plan. So does anything change now? Do you feel like this is going to be a 2-0 for Cloud9? There's no coming back?
Yeah, I think so. I think they have a slight
あれ、日本チームとさ、C9 が VCT でそれこそぶちゃっと立ってることってあったっけ？
But then Cloud9 got hold of the game, so I think again they just need the momentum, and I think they need to believe. The Crew fan then said he was supporting Crew, not is supporting Crew. Like they're not out yet, guys. So like, come on, give him some support still.
I'm going to completely
ないんだ。
disagree with you.
だからまあ僕はそんな知らないのか。日本戦メインでしか見てないから。
4 or 5 rounds. Yeah, I like this.
Okay, fair
Oh,
enough.
Adam's
Stop
catching
that.
strays out here.
It's
Yeah.
okay. You know, we love different opinions, but especially if you get those 4 rounds in a row, for example, at the beginning of a map, and you're not able to build onto that, is the gun rounds that you need. Because if the other team is so good at shutting down your momentum, what you need to do is to be able to adapt to someone stepping on your plan and
Coming
be like,
up,
I honestly do
Haven.
not care that you got the pistol and that you got the bonus and you're wrecking my economy in every single way. I do not care.
Yeah, I think you kind of nailed it.
2-0で終わるか、1-1も触れ込むか。
The actual rounds that Crew looked like they were going to win, obviously pistols, and there was a lot of ecos. They ecoed them once, and there was another round where it looked like they were going to eco them, but Leaf actually got 3 kills in the Viper ult. So yeah, I need to see something different with just their buy rounds. But I will
まあ
say
でもやっぱ
something
こうやっ
that I
て
noticed, so
トップクラスの戦い見ると改めてイカれてんなマジで。
on the defense side, they always stack a site like right at the beginning, and I've noticed this through all of their games recently. And that's just me just watching a few games. So if C9 are putting in time, they're gonna see this stuff. And if I'm being fully honest, when I used to play Crew and when I was back on Liquid,
プレイスキルどうなってんだよ。
anti-striding them. Like that, they had a like
You had a good
honestly,
time, that's
I did
what
have
I
a good
thought you
time.
were just going to stop like, I had a good time.
I had a good time. Like I had a lot of reads against them, so I think if I had to give them any advice moving forward, like I think that they should try and anti themselves and just see their kind of tendencies, because I do see, even just by watching them, not even looking that in depth, I am seeing stuff.
Yeah, sure. I think they have quite a simplistic game plan, game style, and I think that is quite easy for Cloud9 to read into. But I think at the end of the day, they've got to do what works best for them. I don't think now is the time to like, oh, okay, they have a read on us, let's change everything.
うわー、試合観戦お酒飲みながらやりてー。
Suits their players because you can have different game styles depending on the teammates. Maybe they prefer the simplistic style. Maybe they want to, in the future try something more different. But I think for now, just stick to their guns and what else can you do? You prepared?
あ、確かにこれ勝ったら何があるんだ。
I also really want to quickly talk about the cons because obviously with the role changes we're speaking about it here, Leaf on Haven, he's probably going to be moving on to the Rays and you got
賞金とかは特別は別にないのか。
It's quite good that he's on form right now, right? That's what you want from your duelist.
Yeah, for sure. I like so in an ideal world you want both of them to be on Rays, for sure.
まあトロフィーと名誉か。
point out Zephyr again is just looking really strong on Haven, so definitely a big stand up for me. But yeah, I still have a few questions around Zelsus on Breach, but it's just the role that he has to fill. And again, on this map, he's having no problem. All of his utils correct. It's just maybe. I don't. In an ideal world, I would love double duelists, but it just doesn't work.
I will say the last time they played Haven here in 16 rounds, Zelsus had 16 assists.
Yeah, no, this one I'm saying the
と
utils
調
are
べ
great.
た
The utils
感
great is
じ。
that
あら、賞金すごく7万ドルって書いてあったらな。いや、これ別
I
か。
like him on duelist. I love them seeing on
It's the new
Neon.
normal. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a new normal, but I very much
Which
get
one?
and
Which one?
understand the roles. So he's filling up the role. He's doing his part. Yeah, it's just a shame.
16's not enough for
It's
you.
just a
He's
shame.
gotta get like
I want to go
yeah.
back to 2 years ago where you have double duelists, basically as well.
あ、ありがとう、プライズプール。
You can whip out the Phoenix.
Yeah. If I'm crew though, I'm really worried about Leaf being informed today and last time they played him.
10万ドルってことは、計およそ1000、今のレッドだと3、400万ぐらいか。
What can we do different where we don't let Leaf get a hold of
日本円
What are we going to change up?
Yeah,
USD
on the side of crew, I'm looking at Klaus.
0.0073逆で見たいな。
Likely going to go on the breach here. We know that Davey is not having the best of the
わかりにくい
performance.
から
Was not really online for buying, so we need that to change.
136円らしい。
え、
136円なの今。 円安ちょっと緩和されたって聞いたけど、全然円安じゃん、まだまだ。
I'm going to bring this back to the IGL thing because Bind, you guys sort of spoke about the challenges that Ye was going to face. Haven.
優勝賞金だからまあ優勝で5万ドルってことは650万ぐらいか。わお。
This is actually something that I found when I was coaching Liquid as well. It's not just normal. It doesn't feel like a lot of players come from CS. It doesn't feel the same as CS because there's 3 sides. So actually a lot of the rotations on
こうやってさ、公式大会と変わらんクオリティでサードパーティーのところが大会やってるってめちゃめちゃいいことだよな。
But sometimes if obviously you create pressure and actually push that person off, the rotates can get a little bit weird. So we'll keep an eye on it, but I don't have too much worries. I'm kind of just picking out anything, any kind of any little thing.
変わらんクオリティもクソもまあ多分その同じ制作チーム入ってるだろうけどさすがにクオリティ的に。
Yeah, no,
that's true.
Yeah. But there are so many things that ended up being different. Also, the other maps, the newer ones. I think that is what it gets us so excited about next year and having another map. You, Adam, were able to get that bit of information that is going to have a new mechanic, so I'm very excited for that because I feel
ミラーはね単純にレッドブルさんからどうすかって言われたからじゃあやりますってやってるだけ。前回もそうだったけど。
Going back onto Haven is very important, especially on the mid round because the decisions have to be super quick.
I mean, how do you exploit that for crew, right? Because crew, they obviously know as well, Cloud9 were pretty public with their decision, MCE coming out to talk about it. So how do you exploit that kind of situation, especially, I guess, Siggy, for you had a lot of experience to try and hone your players into more of the IGLing style. So if you were playing into a team who was
2試合目は
a star
まだでしょうか。
as an in-game leader, like, what do you do?
Okay, so if
こういう時の会話翻訳できたりしたら配信コンテンツ的にめちゃめちゃいいんだけどな。
create a lot of pressure over towards A and then hit the rest of the map. So basically, when there is 2 people over towards A, or maybe even 3 trying to set them up, then you try and create pressure, fake pressure, and like you were saying, fast hits after you've done fake pressure.
For me and my teams, we were saying when you're playing a team that you think you're better and you're outclassing them, make them think. Don't let them have, say if Crew's game plan here on Havens, like most teams, you take that A control and then you want to play off that.
レオ君にやってもらうか。みんなレオ君の配信見た？英語バリかっこよくない？
Yeah, I think like also going back to what we just saw on Bind, we were talking about this round where Crew gets a little bit of information at the beginning of the round. We see some early rotation.
早速仕事か。初配信が済んだと思ったら渋谷春に呼び出されてレッドブルホームグラウンドの翻訳をさせられるっていう。
Successfully for the beginning of the round, which is scrapped to nothing because the C9 are always one step ahead.
And what you're talking about is why I've been highlighting Zepper all the time, just on the initiator, so good at getting information at the right moment. It's the util on just this team in general, like everyone understands
but
when.
Also knowing when it ends.
No, yeah. Exactly that, yeah. So and it's just finding out all the information when you need to, and just help the rotates, help the calls, give the information back to the IGL, and then just relay it and just make the adaptions.
Yeah, you can see perfect examples of Zepper getting info on good intervals, knowing when, okay, they put pressure, I'm not just going to instantly flash and just waste the flash. You know they're there, they're shooting, they're making sound, don't need to waste it, holding on for the right moments, and then that enables Leaf even more. Say, for example, on Bind, there's a round where they flash B long, and then Leaf realizes nothing there, takes the timer on short, then they can instantly go into a stack and complete that play Crew.
Well, it's time for us to head to Agent Select now and see what we're going to be getting here. We spoke a little
視界
bit
席盛り上がってん
already
な。
about potentially, you know,
あ、もう
some
選
of
手帰
the
ってきてん
drops
じゃ
on
ん。
the side of Cloud9. And I guess
ずっ
that
とい
is
たのかな
one of
僕は見えてなかったけ
the
ど。
advantages of having players who are able to flex.
さあ、ヘイブンの準備に入るかな。インキューって書いてたね、今。ステージのセット凝りすぎだろ。おい、ちゃんとさ、見てこの右の方とか、あ、ピック決まってる。ちゃんとバロのさ、わかる箱、ボックス。シングルとかダブルとかの。あるやん。うわ、いいな、あれ、部屋に欲しい。くれんかな、1個。
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on, especially on the defense half, both of the chambers, just trying to see aggression.
僕はまたミラだね。うん、またミラだな。もうこのパッチの答え出てるんだろうな、これ。あれ、ヘイブンってレイズなの？ヘイブン結構ジャットのイメージだったけど、そんなことないんだよな。ほら、後ろ見て。箱ある、いいな。リーフ選手に注目ですね。いや、リーフ君頑張って、応援してるよ。さっきの試合大活躍だったからな。ヘイベン。
But it was Davies and Nags that got a lot of those openings, those first kills. And Zand, we sort of saw it on Bind. I really want to look at him in particular because he's so good at playing off the rest of his team. He was good at it in Fury.
Seems to
really fit nicely for Crew overall. But then he's going up in a head-to-head with Fade against Zepper.
Yeah.
Writes the book on initiator play sometimes. When KO came out, he was one of the leading ones in North America in the world. His Sky was really good on Bind. Now he's moving to Fade that is still...
でもレイズスキルがやっぱ強いか。ルンバ、グレ。ルンバとグレマジ優秀だよな。もう始まるやん。
And that was an absolute dominant game without players like Ye even performing. But let's figure out if Cloud9 give us a North American Grand Final or if Crew has something to say in it. As Nax started
今の歩いてたやん。
But there's more to come as Leaf has an answer on the other side of the map. They already went all the way around.
激しい激しい激しい。
And it's a 2 versus 2, the C side.
一応ログで考えるとイーブンやね、人数は。よいしょー、めっちゃいいところいた。あと18。
Davies was nowhere nearby as well, so the spike's been left on the ground.
クルーガーのがヘルス的には有利だけど、ゴースト100飛ぶよね、ヘルス。お互いヘッドだったらワンパンかな。スキルは、スキルもお互い残ってるな。レイズあれ買うんだね、ブラフトバック1個。ルンバ買わないんだ。ゴーストとルンバの方がなんか安定しそうな感じするんだけど、これどう？なんか噛み合いそうな噛み合いなそうな。
rather going to the other side of the big box, and with the satchel now hurt, Celsius realizes what's up, and he's sneaking up, tries to see if there's any overswing from the side of Davies, but he's playing it smart, stays back in spawn, knows how many points of health are left on Celsius.
一生噛み合ってるんだけど。
Single bullet in the chest of
でもこの動きうまいよな。この CT 側行って、うわ、おー、生き残った。18HP で弾当てられて生き残る人がいるんですか？フラッシュ。あーいやー、また完封だ。全部完封。CT がクリアしに行ったのマジで偉いよね。
The mind games that were coming in, the second guessing, but Nags he was punished by this on bind, just that aggression.
あれで CT が全部消して、そうなったら一気にまあ DD 側 C ロンだけか。今の 1HP で勝ってたらマジでかっこよかったけどな。てか残り HP18 で何があっても死にそうだなって思ったら一発二えたのマジでウケるな。バッキー買ってる。なんだよこのカメラワーク。カメラワークおしゃれすぎだろ。
Try not to give crew any obs because all of the ultimates on the side of like crew's team, maybe not Omen, all could be great on an execute, and they need them, I think, to win this map. And this
いやー、ついていくきついなこれ。全引きなんだ。スキル遅延できるスキルそんなあるのか。
But crew in a flawless fashion bring it home, and that was not the same as on Byte.
I mean, it certainly got us to sort of lean forward a little bit as a potential, and that might just sort of get into the
絶対そのまま解除取ると思ったんだけど。今何で止めた？途中からスキル入れたけど、なんか最初の方普通に打って止めてなかった今。
Might as well go for it. We can really put the pressure in. We don't lose anything. And even though crew, everybody survives, it's a flawless. Not really that much damage.
そんな止まるっていう止まり方したけど、なんかちょっと危ないようにも見えたよね。あ、いや、おえ
Finding two who are trying to push onto the B side, and so crew backing off, getting the spike on the back of Claws. And as Davies is also on 30 points of health, he cannot be hunted down. Do they keep on pushing down mid? They do! And it might be Manatee who finds a double. Players suddenly one is elevated. It's not looking too good for Cloud9 to deny that plant.
Springboard in through, but Zeppa's taken mid. He also has Zelsis to support, so this is going to be a really awkward plant for crew. They're pretty much surrounded.
配置がすげえな。わー。
Next falling down. It's pretty unlikely. 79 points of health, a bulldog in hand. And that's not much more happening, or is there? Find cells. This didn't lose a single
そこ見んだ。巻きなんだ今見るべきは。うますぎ。うお、噛み合ってる。場所もわかる。いやー、音が聞こえねえこれ。いやー、それさー。音聞こえないのが強いわ。まあでも 4K プリ十分か。
Great clutch won by him, but a decent bonus, all things considered, by crew. They do the damage, and separating these kind of fights is what's going to allow crew back into this series.
クラッチありそうだったね。
When they get a first kill, they typically win the round following. They just got so little against Cloud9 who were in
いや、
control
こ
throughout.
こマジ綺麗。いや、でそこでそこ見るんだマジあったな。いやー、惜しい。
Unfortunate for him, but still the success that Cloud9 needed to not find any spiral from now on. But still, as you said, quite expensive one, right? There's not going to be great weapons right now on the North American side as we're taking a look. A judge, of course, what else? Manatee trademark, as is his name could not be linked.
There's a bit more like pace and tempo set from crew taking all of this spot. Powell is going to actually connect onto Nag, so the rotation going to be coming in, but lots of mid control already from Cloud9. He's pushed all the way up.
But this is something we've been looking for from Crew, right? A little bit more swift, a little more fast-paced, a little bit more early map control. Something they didn't necessarily deliver on Bind when they were attacking.
But they haven't really got that much of A. To be fair. They're trying to be in Suez, trying to be in A long, but Ye's going to hear rotations come through. And it's certainly gone to the heads. Like Klaus using the flash to see if he can clear anything, but it's still.
But
there is a rolling thunder, to be fair, for Klaus.
That could be very beneficial indeed.
音聞けてるからくらいしか理由ないよね、多分。
Let's
go!
It missed Vanity, but he was spotted anyway. Can still find a kill onto Nax and keeps on moving. Crew second thoughts, but there's nothing to really debate. They're still getting onto the site. It's not really working at all. It is going to be Cloud9 finding a second round.
配置完璧だったが。なんで今みたいな配置になったのか気になるけど。アーティさん使ってる人多すぎだろ、マウスパッド。
And it's all just from Ye pushing him mid. Okay, we have this control. They're going to be in A. He's still like he doesn't get hit by that at all. That's where the horn catches onto it.
ブリキュールってなんでこれ食らってないの？
But it's those kind of moments, and it is just like the brains of these players. Okay, they're on A. They have a rolling thunder. This is what they're going to do. This is what I'm going to do. And that kind of adjustment, you don't need a coach to like call for that because it's these players have got so much experience and so much like intelligence when it comes to their play. It's going to be those kind of issues. But there is a tech pause coming in too, because of course, but it's one of those ones where Cloud9 are really showing that bright side of them in such early days.
And there's one small thing that I just want to highlight when we're talking about Haven and Cloud9. Earlier mentioned it, right? That was the 13 free against Vitality. And it was a game that Xepa stepped up with 27 kills over the course of 16 rounds. So definitely not an easy opponent.
気づいたら2対2か。しかもクルーエコ。クルーが有利に試合運んでいるように見えていたが、気づいたらまたしんどそうな。
Here now as the execute looking to come in and Vanity's on the top box. There's a couple of rounds like this on Bind where different altitude catches off crews they're coming in.
Actually not on top of the box can tip you away in time. And that is the entry. Par in the fall was Ye. Either way, gonna find moves back. That is positioning. And
であれ返して。いやー、うえー。そのワンキルもなかなか異質ではあるよ。うわ、すげえ今のオーメンの人の動き。あ、いやでも取り返されたか。おーおーおーおーおー。来るワンチャンあんのかこれ。いや、きついか。うえー、うわ、今の死なないんだ。今の死なないんだ。完封だったのかな。
struggling to get out of the gates. Now it's coming down to just individual moments, which is what you kind of want to see from both sides. On a stage, getting used to this is so important. And thankfully, it's the last candidate that we'll see, like, Ye being able to just TP out like that. Right?
I mean, technically, could do it with the new one if I'm not totally wrong. The range should be good enough. But not the same safety.
Yeah, yeah.
Either way.
結構危ない飛び出し方するんだな。
Getting the weapons they want. Nax on an operator. He's just waiting for the flank. The rest of the team trying to find a bit more in front of A for the moment. In Cloud9 this time around, no mid control they're seeking.
And now it's just holding on to the extremities. They do have that trademark on B. Rolling Thunder too, so they could always just play for a retake on whatever site. In fact, they've used C9 have used so little utility at this point. Crew, we saw it on Bind a little bit too. Just lots of util used in the first like intervals to try and clear this. Some of it's not going to recharge. And Xedi in a nice spot on Sewers if you can catch like a flank or a rotate. But there's still two players on C9 playing from Sewers watching it.
And it seems for a little bit like they're trying to bait that go over Garage. Well, a total different
こう見るとウィンドウに目たかれるとやっぱプロでもなんかあんまりやることなくなるんだな。通過だけされないようにケアしながら。うわー、いいとこいる。
So it's 30 seconds to make that execute work. A lot of utility that still could be used by Cloud9. The flash coming in, as well as the Haunty seeking a little bit more. Gets out of it.
Oh.
But it might be just the control they're looking for. But look at that. They're going to be all thrown back. The rolling ball
Uwa.
working brilliantly.
無理やり持ってった。はあ。遅延が効いて目が晴れた。はい、ボム見えてる。キープか。うわ、今だいぶスキルの応酬あったな。どっちが何個スキル入ったか何もわかんねえや、僕。だいぶ綺麗にスキル入ってるように見えたけどな。フェードのスキルで A 中映ってたし、スキル返しがちょっとうますぎか、今の。お互い、それはお互いではあるんだけど。ああ、もうこんなんも当たり前としか言う、もうなんか当たり前と言わんばかりの。さあ、ナーフマイチェンバー暴れております。クルーサイドエコ。
Most of the time, when you think about it, that would be something you would definitely consider.
Not many IGLs can say that, though.
Was that necessary?
I mean, it's the dynamic level of the game, and Ye is just able to sort of keep that much motion, and the rest of Cloud9 now going to start going to search for information. Mid control, it's not being punished. It's not even been spotted.
Yeah.
They're all going down right into the trap.
うわ、もう覗いてくるタイミングエッチすぎんだろ今の。だってもうそんな一人知るやん。どうこれなんでこんな速さで裏来てるかな。早いのよエリアの取り返しが、広げ方が。体も出さずウルト使って一人飛ばして腰打ち裏切られて、あいやC9 強いです。えぐいな普通に。
Crew kind of go, all right, we'll all just stack up and just hit a site. How can they have so much information to be able to sort of work off it at this point? And yeah, he's just able to do what he does best. And it's so important for moments like that to just stop letting Nags get comfortable because he can turn one kill into four very easily.
情報えぐいんよな。もう怖くないのかってぐらいゴリゴリ詰めてんだけど、まあなんかもちろん根拠あって詰めてるとは思うけど。このマウスパッドなんだっけ。これもちょいちょい見る気がするな。バクシーか。不も服のお店に売ってるやつか。レッドブル飲んでる。
We need to do more of this. We need to keep an eye on mid a little bit more because we're giving it away to Cloud9. They fix it, they get around, but Crew have just not been able to get away with that so far. Obviously, MCE, C9's coach, he can have a word with the guys as well, just to be like, sort of, this is what
レッドブルの街飲み始めると止まらんくなるよな。一時期毎日2本飲んでたわ。
Do have a lot of decent ultimates to work with, a full buy because the tour de force is going to come out from Nags.
You want to play? Let's
this time they're more focusing on that mid control.
You want to
and so
play,
C9 start to push,
play.
maybe be a bit more aggressive on A.
Different approach. I think this is also the first time we're seeing that smoke, which is making it very different indeed.
Yeah, different trademark as well. It's on C long.
But so they're starting to push. C sides once more is their objective, and Klaus starting that one. Nobody is remaining directly on C, and so Cloud9 can build this up to be a successful retake if they want to. Leaf gotta leave. He will most definitely do so. And when we take a look over there from Cloud9, there's no real ult, maybe outside the one from Vanity, that would allow them an easier retake.
And these retakes have been incredibly clean for Cloud9 so far. They've been happy to give up sites. Now with all this utility, they're ready to sort of go in, and they've pushed them all the way down C long again. This time they have guns.
Oh, and they're going to start the defuse. Are they going to get it off yet? Yes, they do. All players are standing on site. Vanity keeps on defusing. He's going to be the knight for the moment. Never mind, he actually made it in time. And Crew didn't have a response once more. Standing there and not even sure what happens.
やっぱロング5本引きこう見るとなんかすげえ弱く見えるんだよな。止まらんくないやっぱ。シンプルに止まらんくない？目抜き前提になるから、まあそのね、設置してる場所がある程度抜けるような設置にはしてるんだろうけど、その目あってもね。とはいえって感じちょっとするよね、こう見てると。
Those A hits were not working out. To be fair, none of the hits on any of the sides were really working out for crew at this point. But they showed themselves a little bit in garage. Rotation's been pulled away. Right now, maybe looking to go A little bit more. The stun's going to come in from Klaus, but look at where Zelsis is. He's on a nice little angle in sewers to check if anybody's going to come through. Even with all this utility, he could just jiggle, he could check that nobody's crossed.
And with that bit known, trying to force the players away.
なんだそのテクイ寄り方。いやー、今のフラッシュ食らわないんですね。おお、今の前出るんだ。はい目うまい。はい目シュラウドステップ場所も変えてる。うますぎだろ今の。おお、多め一人でサイト中耐え切った。耐え目っていう概念すごいよな。この前の CR カップで初めて知った概念だったけど、最初に考えた人の IQ 高すぎだろ。
They were starting with a 9-free half on defense, so it might not even be the most comfortable start to say it that way.
It's not going to get any easier once we
ここマジ前での意味不明すぎて。
Now, a lot more pressure coming in, and even then, just crew trying to get into those openings on A. Shut down by utility. Leaf is feeling confident. Crew awkward by at the very least on round 10, forcing up whatever they can, and it's just already down to 3.
Like I said, he has a bit of a lurk, potentially could make the difference.
とんでもないエリア取ってる。止まらんね C9 が。
His lurk might be the most influential, or will it be the case? Comes down and needs to hit the timing on the players that are waiting in middle. All the time he was sneaking was not even worth it.
Even if he got one, Cloud9 have played so close together.
うまい、うまいけど。うまいけどなんだよね。
There's always somebody from C9 ready to support. It's airtight on this defense from Cloud9. And that's
止まらんな C9 が。ただただ。
Having to really save in the next round, buy up for round 12. It could be a 10-2 half.
It feels very much like desperation at this point. You know, obviously you're trying your best in this, but the game plan and the answer seem to be non-existent for crew at that point in time.
Yeah, they're starting to thread apart a little bit. Like you've got Axedy, like I'm going to go on a lurk. We need to find an opening. We need to find a gap.
プレイの雑さで言うと僕パッと見 C9 の方がプレイ雑に見えるけどね。ゴリゴリゴリゴリゴリって感じで。
I'm going to stay here and catch the rotate, or I'm going to go for a lurk, and everybody in crew, apart from the start of the round,
フィジカルフェイディゴリゴリゴリに見える。
And crew slowly and steady running on E, while Cloud9 is setting basically track records at that point. So pushing for the smoke, trying to really have that A control under any circumstance. Did Leaf go too far is the question. No, he still keeps on moving.
Yeah, he's got the support from Zephyr.
でも FPS まあでもこと対戦ゲームかこれは全般に言えるけど、強気なムーブってされると嫌なんだよな。うわー。あいやー。
Cloud9 secure the perimeter and nobody's trespassing.
Next, just hoping that somebody overpeaks a little bit, but Cloud9 is still prepared enough, and the ultimate from Vanity is actually stuck all the way in behind.
とんでもないところにいるんだよ人が。うわいいグレ。うわー。
It's unbelievable. Like said, he can save today as he goes a little deeper. One is whiffing.
Oh.
This is prime Cloud9.
もうおかしいよエリアの取り
Not
方
a single flaw so far, really.
It's also just the way that Cloud9 are supporting each other with utility, that they're playing well off each other, but also the confidence of not only leading,
そんなバカな
even pushing down A long to be that close, but Vanity Omen ulting into their spawn, whilst everybody is still pretty much there. It's just getting information and just going for those confident plays, because really at this point, this series looks like it's only gone in one direction.
And to be honest, you know, this is obviously a team full of star players, a team full of strong players, but it doesn't feel like they just rely on the fact on how good they are. The team play is exceptional. Double kill, 2 entries within 5 seconds. And Cloud9 just have a field day. And there's not much to do except he tries to look around, finds a kill.
メンタル差も生まれつつあるこれ
And that's a very early
Let's go!
But they're backing off.
帰ってた
They're leaving the side of B, whilst A seems to be pretty much cleared, Ryan.
With the rolling fund they used, you don't have those retake ultimates from Cloud9, but look at the guns that are still available. It's a Spectre, it's a Bulldog from Axedi. And A side
苦しんどそうだな
man advantage might not be the difference here. Nags, I don't want to see him push up. This is what I mean. Like crew is starting to try and go for these gamble plays and being broken
め
apart.
ちゃめちゃいいとこまで出れてる
Team
け
play is
ど
starting to really disperse from crew, whereas Cloud9 are looking more and more cohesive as a unit.
C9 はゆっくりゆっくりだな
They're just gonna wall in.
堅実
Max is dead. 2 more on side.
クルも今のカバー通してたけど
And back
通してたところでって感じなぐらい
But it is double digits without even
C9 がちょっと完璧すぎるか
With utility to spare, right? 2 smokes for Vanity. It's also like, I like the play that they tried, having Nags in that corner as soon as he gets under some pressure. That paranoia comes in from Axedi, but it's just clearly C9 were prepared from the first time they played against these guys, where similar plays were happening. It's a nice thing, but it's just those kind of moments, whether it's unluckiness or
こ
just
とかマジで一切前見せてないんだよ
they have not been
な
working.
It feels like there's not one factor that I could name to you right now, Ryan, where crew is overwhelmingly better. And that's a sad factor, right? This is where we're in a 10-2 half because every single aspect, every single puzzle piece is in the right position right now for Cloud9. And it starts in every single thing, right? There's no player that's really in a slump. There's no player who's not hitting his shots. There's no player who's not doing his role in form of support.
来るタイムアウト取んないのかなないのかなもうさっきの試合で2回取ったからそんなことないよねマップごとに2回与えられるはずだよな
It's all looking great for Cloud9. Crew, they
Wow.
won the pistol. That was the only round that they were able to pick up. That and the following, that were the only 2 rounds that Crew were able to get. It's fair to say that they need to win this pistol. I think that's a given.
Good statement. Yeah, I agree. I would sign that. But for now, Ye already wounded. But as they're contacting up the B side, they clear left, right, and center. Leaf is trying to get a little closer. Was he just walking into the grenade or walking into the smoke, expecting that he would survive? This is a great start for Cloud9. Spike is now down on
目でグレ見えなかった
But
なんだ
Crew
今
is
の
initiating the retake. Yeah, Leaf should have too much of a chance, but he still gets one. So still a plus
見えてない
one
のに
here on
打ち合いに行くの
Cloud9.
なんなん
Spike
マ
was
ジで
definitely known the position very much out in the open, and as they're finding to get the flank, Xepa even gets another one. It looks possible as though
怖すぎだろ
2 versus 2. Axedi and Nax seeking what they can find. It is only Celsius. And is it going to more
パラノイア食らって顔面真っ黒のやつが突っ込んでくるの恐怖すぎる
He's just waiting for it. Could use where the stun knows they cannot make it in time, and here it comes. Might just even get 2 in the meantime.
なあ惜しい
But it's enough, and Crew get the pistol. So
よく
far,
と
a great statistic
よく取り返したなこれ
in that regard. But everything else they have been lacking in.
It's so touch and go too because Crew are losing
だいぶリテイク
their
厳しそう
first
だったけど
near of every single time. And in previous maps, what we've seen Crew win, they get that first kill. They're very good at closing out those rounds. It's just not been happening. Certainly when we got onto like Cloud9's defensive side, they were so good at finding the openings, like you sort of showed me. But here, when Cloud9 are the ones being aggressive, you got Vanity sort of teleporting into sight as the Omen, playing around the smokes. Xepa just sprinting all the way through Garage to get in. It's still a confident feeling. And a bit more of a buy actually coming in from Cloud9, seeing as they got the spike planted. They're forcing up a little.
They're forcing up, and they're definitely forcing their way over there onto the A side.
ここはもうイケイケゴーゴー
standing there ready and waiting to find a little more. The trap could be a bit of a nuisance, but he does not find the kill that
なんでそれで勝てる
and Xand holds left, right, and center, but also gets
う
punished.
わ
It's not looking
嫌にやりそうこんなんされたらマジで
9. Whatever they do, it seems to work.
マジで嫌になりそう今の。
Instantly broken. His attention might be taken towards the back side of where Zelsis is playing from, but look at where Leaf is, just on this corner again. So much support from him, being in these aggressive positions.
こだよね。
The rest of crew just can't see where anybody's playing at this point.
And they pretty much should know where the opponents are coming from.
しない。
As now the paranoia comes in, it will probably only get Zelsis there on backside, and they definitely try to make it work. But Leaf is looking in the wrong direction. It could still be successful here for the side of crew, but never mind. Cloud9 with the 11th, winning the anti-eco, not even making it a follow-up for crew, which they have gotten in the past so far.
返すところがなくない、
That
こう
one,
な
it
る
could
と
be。 the final nail in the coffin.
It's also just those kind of rounds where
まあ
you
そうだね、
force
ラウンド状況的にも、まあ、あ
up.
と設置してるから普通にセカバイできるお金はあったもんね。キロもだいぶ発生したか。3キロ発生と、それだから。まあでもそれにしても、このリーフ選手の動き、だいぶ理不尽ではあったよ。相手がエコの時にするムーブだよ、あれ。いけいけーっつって。
It's such a sad disaster for crew. Sure, you have to win more island. This is a team that freshly formed in that direction.
だいぶやりたい放題。
That freshly got together with the majority of the players to say it that way. So it's an important lesson for them. Either way, Cloud9.
あれ来るエコしてないな。魂の倍してる。うーおー。すんごい入り方。
But it doesn't matter too much. The C's is going to stall a little
支
bit.
援
Allow
シ
Davis
ーズ。
in this spot, and it's
ああ、
just
なんだなんだなんだ。
cannot
ああ、なんだなんだなんだ。
clean fight against Cloud9. It's all up to Nags. He
なんだ
just got the headhunters in hand. He's over on the A site, and in a 1 versus 4.
That is a magnificent utility usage.
まずい。
If Nax, if there was ever a moment to make it work,
ちょ
show your strength, it would be
と
now. It's
積みかもで
impossible. He knows
す。
it himself, but he has made impossible things possible. Loses already 2 bullets
い
out
や
of his headhunter.
ー、
Still
持ち出
has
してくれん
6
だろうな。
left, and they all need to run in one by one. It's not the case. Double swing and a 12 to 3 from Cloud9. It seems like North America is definitely taking on Manchester. That is something we could say.
It's been absolutely clinical today. Of all of the days for Cloud9 to show up, today is a perfect one, really. A chance to be in the grand finals against 100 Thieves, to win that last Ignition tournament, realistically, with
マッ
international
チポイント
teams
か。
before Sao
しか
Paulo
も
next year.
クル
Hell
ー
of a
倍で
thing.
きなくね
Show
これ。
some of the haters perhaps as well, just to show that this is a team to be absolutely reckoned with.
スペクターとブルドッグだ。
18 and 12. We've had 16 rounds.
魂の倍だったもんな今。
Doesn't seem to have a weak link. At least we couldn't figure it out really so far. As for now, taking a bit of control towards Garage. Crew are taking the early fights, but when they're pushing you like this, you pretty much stand no chance. The seaside is the new objective of Cloud9, and the GPS is getting him right in that direction. As Elsa gets the flank, it might be done and
なん
dusted
かもう
right.
全部が C9 の思い通りに動いてんのかってぐらい眩しいね。
Really good at watching these flanks. There's 2 other players that could potentially come in on mid, but he's given up that spot. And the spike's been planted. There's not much time for Davies and Klaus to get stuff done here.
これはこのまま GG かな。
That would be probably the most wonderful comeback of this year, but can't be really realistic about
They're
it.
so scared of Zelsis because he was playing in that mid spot watching for rotations.
Exactly. And there's still so much utility left for Cloud9 to work with, but the end of the side, blind they are for a moment. There's also a Cease following up, and obviously Celsius has his ult. It's not getting any easier. And as suddenly it's Klaus who's airborne, tries to find a little more, gets himself a double, but with 5 points of health and hardly any time left. This cannot be done. It cannot be finished. And it is done because Cloud9 take out Crew with a 13-3 domination.
2 years in a row on the exact same
Feel
day.
nice.
Crew knocked out of a semi-final. Maybe not as exciting as it was at Gambit last year, but this one, Cloud9 out for blood, and they're going for it.
まあまあでも VCT までにどうなるかね結局。あとはまあパッチも変わるし。しかし強え。パワーパワー&パワーだった。
They were initially going home on the Saturday. Now that they're going to be here and playing in the semi-final. It's a great step towards what they're building. They don't have Meltzer 2, a great showing throughout the tournament, but this, it really only looked like Cloud9 were on the server today.
And it's the right experience you need before 2023, right? Especially at such a young roster with players who are not even that experienced. But Cloud9 with a more than deserved victory. And so often 100 Thieves and Cloud9, Matt, this is going to be one game you should never miss.
I mean, 100 Thieves, they've had that
C9 が最強ってことがよくわかった。
When it comes to being warmed up on the server, I think you could realistically say that Cloud9 have warmed up pretty well.
Oh, this is not a game where they had, a lot of energy spent in it. It didn't feel like it at all. It was the right kind of warm-up. Exactly. It feels like exactly that. It's particularly considering it might be a very
今日のこの後は今これ準決勝なのよ。今ちょうど行われてるのが、昨日準決勝の片方が終わって、でこれもう片方の準決勝。これ勝った、C9 と元々勝ってた 100T かながこの後決勝やるらしい。一応オンタイムだと予定2時半スタートだったんだけど、試合終わるの早かったからどうなんだろう、巻きでスタートしたりするのかな。ちょっと僕はこの後 BO5 を見る体力はないから、ミラーはちょっとこの試合でフィニッシュになるんだけれど、本配信と、あとさっきも言ったそのミラー配信他にもしていて、デリエリファントブラックウィズさんがミラー配信してるから、そっちは多分最後までミラーするんじゃないかな。と思われますので、残りも見たい方はちょっとそちら、本配信見ていただくか、他のミラー配信見ていただくかでお願いできたらと思います。BO5 ね、別に BO5 見てもよかったんだけど、なんかいいな、こうやって笑顔で。開始時間がね、2時半予定だったから2時半からの BO5、10時半から BO5 で決勝とかだったら普通に見ようと思ったんだけど、時間帯がちょっとあれだったから、この辺で配信終わろうかな。でこの後深夜の久々に麻雀、久々じゃないけど数日ぶりのまた麻雀配信をしようかね。今日はエイペックスもやったし、麻雀をやろうと思いますので、お暇な方はまたそちらでお会いしましょう。じゃあミラー配信はこちらで終了となりますので、また次回の配信でお会いしましょう。ご視聴ありがとうございました。またのご利用お待ちしております。アープハルです。バイバーイ。
We have Zelsters here for